Welcome, and here we're looking at gold, and we have seen the US dollar. I'll just bring the US dollar chart up through here. The US dollar push up strongly through here, and we're likely to see a little bit more here in terms of 5 waves here for the dollar to push up, so we can expect those commodities to feel that sort of pressure there. What we don't know with the US dollar though is that we can see that this particular rally here, this move up rather, is in 3 waves here. We just don't know if it's going to go past that and continue moving up. As 3 waves, it's corrective, and then would move down here would be the case. But if this continues to move to the upside and we get like a 5-wave structure up in terms of 1, 2, 3, where this one is now 4 and 5, well then obviously we're going to have if we get 5 up here after a correction, we're going to get another 5. But as it stands, we don't know what's going to happen past this point here, and it's going to take between 2 and 3 sessions to figure out what's going to come after this particular 5-wave structure here, because in both cases, in bearish and bullish, we would see a move 3 waves down minimum. If it was 3 waves down, then we'd see a move higher again, but if it was in 5 waves down, then we know that we would see further downside. So we need to get past this particular juncture here being 3 waves or developing into 5 waves to the upside. So that's a little bit of an unknown, so bear that in mind, and that will affect all other markets as well. So, well, related markets. So with gold, as you know, we were looking for wave C up here in 5 waves as wave 4, and yeah, and I don't think that it's finished. There's a wave count on our website that's saying that there's a possible count that it can be finished at this point here, but in the day ahead report we'll just look at that as a wave 3 pullback as such. So on this chart here we're looking for we were counting 5 waves up through here the other day, and to complete wave 5 of wave 3, and we're looking for an A and a B and a C now. Coming in here as wave 4, pulling back to, or maybe not that low, you can pull back to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree. It's just that be closer to the 38% retracement level. But let's see how we go. If we do get 5 down here, then we'll get another 5 over here as the same as well. So just drilling into that a little bit further through here. So as you know, we were counting 5 waves up here yesterday, and that top's coming to play here. There is another little alternative count here as well that I need to point out, is that if this whole move up here was just wave 1 here, wave 1 here, then we'd be looking for a 50, 60, 1.8 retracement level point in here, and that can be in place there. So it could technically push up from here, but I think all the same, I think that this appears to be 5 waves here, so we'd see a 3-wave counter trend pulling back up into the supply area through here, and then another 5 down. So let's just drill into that and have a look at that. Okay, so it's already sort of moved along there, but look, from the high here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, and then we're looking for, well, if I can just tidy this up a little bit here, we're looking for this A wave to come into play here, so we can move that, and that B wave will be in here somewhere, and then we'll look for this C wave up through here as such. So it'll look something like that. This little 5 waves here, and this is a wave 4 here, so I can just tell, it'll wave 5 up through here, then there'll be an A, B, C across here, then another 5 up through there. So we could look at that pulling back the 50, 60% through here as well into this space here. Yeah. But we need to get past, you know, this will be 3 waves. If we get 5 waves up here, then we know that we'll make new highs up through here. So a little bit unsure. So we just need to watch this market dance around this level here. So allow it to play out. This will be 5. If you want to get into the 5-minute chart or 2-minute chart, the A wave will be 5 waves. The B wave will be in 3 waves, and the C wave will be in 5 waves. Okay, silver's much the same as well. Just sort of looking at it as a wave 4 pullback here. I mean, it could be a top in here as such, but it just seems so small, you know, because if this is all of wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then we've got wave 3 up to here in 5 waves, this, you know, just makes it this. We could put this little wave 4 here to make this to here as a little A, B, and C here for the 4th, and then up for the 5th here, this small wave here, but it just appears a little bit sort of short. I know on the daily trend line, if I've got it here, this one here, coming through from way back up here, all the way through here, we're facing that trend line through here, so it could certainly peg it there, and we just need to be mindful of that as well. So let's just see how far out of hand it gets here, and if we can, you know, interpret what's going on here as such. But I guess in one way or another, getting 5 waves down from this high here would be a, so if we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we got that through here, coming down through here, which we've got the 1 and the 2 here, then we'd be looking for a counter trend here. And because we got 5 in that direction, we would have to really consider shorting the market back down into here, and if not lower. Okay, the copper market is following the higher US dollar and also the precious metals as well. So you can see the closing at 322. So it's starting to move down a little bit too far, I guess. Look, but in the bigger picture, as long as it holds above that trend line or the 320 there, then it's intact. But coming down this far here starts to breach it. So coming under this low here on the 2-hour chart, move down here, makes it, you know, gives it another degree higher of being bearish. And also, as I always say, the pivot within group 1, in this case the 322 here, as resistance here would see it back at the 320, and if not lower as well. So there is a bearish picture unfolding in the materials sector and resources, so be mindful of that. The oil market, it's held up quite nicely. You know, stock has held up quite nicely as well. Now, it's a little bit sort of tricky here as well, because, you know, I've got this as an A and a B and a C here for wave 4, but this also, in reality, the wave 4 can go here, and the wave 5 can go here. And if that's the case, then, you know, this would be 5 waves down as wave 1 rather than an A and a B and a C wave here. And so if that's the case, if we do have 5 waves here, we'll be looking for 3 waves back up, and then we'll be looking for that to fold down here again as well, and move lower from that point. You know, but until that 102 becomes a retested resistance, I don't think we should be looking at the short side. Yes, it can come back and, you know, test it lower and so forth. But if that 102 becomes a retested resistance because it's the pivot within group 1, then we'll consider the market coming back to 100 at that point there. I'll just have a little look in here to see if I can make heads or tails of this here. Yes, we do have 3 waves. This is 5 waves up to here, and then a corrective wave here, and then the and this would have to be a 4 and a 5 to here. So yes, this whole move here can be corrective, and we are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So a little counter. And so if the 102.30 even in here becomes the retested resistance, then you can look to have it, you know, look at a short trade in here, but it's not there yet. The gas market, as you know, we're tuning in, and the reason for this is that we're looking at a 5-wave structure to the upside here, and we're looking for an A and a B and a C. This chart might look a little bit different from the one I had before, and that's simply because we've just flipped over into the April contracts as well. So different prices. The high in the last contract was at 650, so now we're in this contract, so it'll be slightly sort of different as such. Now, working on to soybeans here. The soybean market is at 1400 here, or just above it, but I still believe it's part of wave wave 5 and 3 here. Okay, so we're still looking at a corrective pattern to unfold across the 1400 here, and it can move back into group 2 here. Now, normally when you're dealing with a large number here as such, in this case the 1400, we always need to look to the next degree lower, which would be for support and for the range of the corrective pattern. So it would be group 2 here and group 1 here, the 10, 20 and 30 here. So at worst we can expect that to be the corrective range in here. May not be that big because I can see all the corrective patterns are quite small, but we should start and be conservative and start from the outside and work in. We're still adding every 10 points, by the way. The wheat market has been hit by the stronger US dollar, and it's okay, but it's just, it's just been weak for a few days here, so it's probably good to sort of, if you're a short-term trade, obviously lock it in by now, but the longer-term traders, what we don't want to see is we don't want to see the 600 here become a retested resistance here, a confirmed failure at this level here. If we see this picture here, then we have to exit our trades as such. So let's just give it a little bit of time to breathe here at this level here, because it's quite normal this is a bit of an overshoot pattern really, because it never stopped there. So it's overshot here, and the distance it overshoots here is normally the distance that would come back here as well. So, we do got to give it a bit of space to breathe before we can call this in as an A and a B and a C correction here, being a corrective move up and then a larger move to the downside. And if that's the case, we'll catch that to the downside. But it hasn't really broken any of the wave structures to the upside. It's just looking a bit soft, that's all. The corn market, I must have missed a little wave count in here because I thought that this would be the structure up through here as the wave 5 to here, but it must have been in this little squiggle in here as well in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can definitely see 5 waves in here. So we're looking at the top here now, but the story hasn't changed. So we're looking for, an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, and it can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree through here, so just be mindful of that. And the orange juice is looking quite good, just starting from the bigger picture on the daily, as wave 2, wave 1 here coming up. Wave 2 and wave 3 will be longer than wave 1 here. That being the case, we're just not quite sure about where wave 2 is here. It can be in place here, or we may get another move down here to call it in here before we see a move up. But as it stands, it's kind of 50-50 in here. It's a little bit dodgy, dodgy in the way that this move up through here from this wave 2 here is in 3 waves. So I'm always sort of concerned about that. But it can be part of a building process higher in terms of wave 1, wave 2, then the next degree smaller, wave 1, wave 2 here. But the good part about this is that it does appear that we've got a 3-wave structure here, which we should see the top of this pull out. We're also looking at this as being a 5-wave structure up here. So look, in a bit of a nutshell, we need it to stay above this low here. That's why it's doing that. Then it's positive. Yeah. Alrighty, that's it. Thanks for listening.